Hello! So if you have already watched my pantry staples video, I showed you a bunch of Indian and other Asian spices that I typically keep in my pantry. And I will provide a list of all those spices on Amazon so that you can order them. But if you do decide to order them, you might have a couple of days before they come in, and I thought I would show you a recipe that's quick and easy to put together with things that you probably already have in your cabinets. So I am going to show you my quick and easy spicy peanut noodles that you can use with whatever kind of meat and whatever kind of noodles that you happen to have on hand. And it's a great flavorful weeknight meal. It's gonna take me less than 20 minutes to cook it. So let's get started. Hello, so let's start off with the ingredients. So I have some ground chicken, which actually I just have these Costco chicken breasts that I put in my food processor and ground, but you could use ground pork or ground beef, whatever you've got. Some chili powder for some spice, and some star anise, which is this lovely little spice that's actually shaped like a star, but if you don't have it, totally leave it out. Some soy sauce, some peanut butter, and some garlic and ginger for the flavoring. I'm going to use this paste because I have it and it's convenient, but you totally can use fresh ginger that you just grate. And for flavor, also some green onions. And then over here I have some chicken stock, which this is actually just bouillon that I made into stock. You use whatever you have. And I have some of these vermicelli rice noodles, which are actually gluten-free. If you need to be gluten-free, use these and a gluten-free soy sauce. And I have soaked these in hot water and drained them. The key is use whatever noodles you've got, just undercook them per the package directions, because we're going to finish them in the pot and we don't want them to be overdone. So you just follow the directions and shorten the time by a couple of minutes on that. I have some cornstarch together with some water that I'm going to use to thicken the sauce. And then over here I have some fresh ginger, which you can use if you have. I think I'll actually use the paste for this, and some green onions. I find that green onions keep for quite a long time in the fridge if you take them out of a plastic bag and wrap them in a paper towel instead so that they can breathe. And I am going to chop these, and I am going to save the white parts separately from the green parts because I think the white parts are more strongly flavored, and so we'll cook those first and then we'll finish with the green parts in the end. I'll keep those white parts over there, and then I will chop these to finish. Okay, so I've got my pan heating up on kind of a medium low heat, and the first thing I'm gonna do is take some oil and get all the flavors kind of infusing in the oil. So, pardon my opening the drawer there. Whatever oil you have is fine. I'm using canola oil because that's what I've got, but any sort of oil that you would use for stir frying or sauteing will be fine. So add a good amount of oil in the pan because we want the flavors to actually infuse in the oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my star anise first. Throw 2 or 3 in there, and also a little bit of chili powder. I'm just using some regular American chili powder for this, so adjust to your level of spice preference. I tend to like spicy food, so I'm going to add a good amount in there. And then while that is heating on low, I'm going to let those, on medium low, I'm going to let those flavors sort of infuse into the oil. And when that gets a little bit warmer, I will go ahead and add my garlic, ginger, and the white parts of my green onions. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add about a teaspoon of my garlic and ginger. I'm using this mixed jarred paste, but you use whatever you have. If you have fresh ginger, just grate it into the pan. You don't even need to peel it, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and add the light parts of my green onions and saute those for a few minutes while my pan is still heating up. Once those have started to soften, I will raise the heat a little bit and go ahead and add my chicken. And I want that to be a little bit hotter so that I can brown it well. Okay, so my pan is nice and sizzling now, and I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken. And I'm going to brown that off a little bit so the liquid can reduce and the chicken can get a nice brown on it before I add my liquid ingredients. Okay, so my chicken is nicely browned. I'm going to go ahead and add some of my liquids. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And I'm going to add a big heaping tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter, which will melt in and give it a lovely creamy peanuttiness. But if you are sensitive to peanut butter, if you are allergic to peanut butter, you could use tahini instead, which is made out of sesame seeds. It's a sesame seed paste, and it would still give you that creamy, nutty flavor. It would still be quite tasty. So I'm going to stir in that peanut butter so it melts all the way through, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a little less than a cup of chicken stock. You don't need a ton of liquid for the particular noodles that I'm using, but if you're using a thicker noodle, you might want to go ahead and use a full cup of chicken stock. So I will add that in, a little less than a cup. And also my mixture of cornstarch and water, which will help thicken that sauce and make it really nice and glossy and shiny. So I will add that in as well. And go ahead and stir that and bring that up to the boil. We're going to let that reduce for a minute or two and get thickened and finish cooking the rest of the chicken. And then we will mix in our noodles. You can see that my sauce has gotten quite thick, and we don't need a ton of sauce to remain in this dish. It's not really a soup. So I'm going to go ahead and add my noodles. My noodles are very slim, so I pretty much only need to toss them through. If you've got a thicker noodle that still needs a little bit of cooking, you may let it simmer for a minute or two. And then as soon as your noodles are ready, this dish is done super fast. All right, that's done. I'm going to plate some up. And before I finish, I will top it with the rest of the green onions. Alright, so I am going to try not to burn my face off with these yummy peanutty noodles right here. Mmm. 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 Really good. Lots of flavor. And fast, too. You can put them together very quickly on a weeknight. And if you liked them more spicy, feel free to add some sriracha or sambal oelek at the end. Hope you enjoy. Bye.